Tonight, we are honoring two individuals for Outstanding Contribution Awards, both of which do extraordinary things for our industry. They help to showcase and highlight all of us, all of our peers, airlines, vendors, all throughout. They bring to us information, news, interviews. Tonight's honorees are Mary Kirby and Steve Harvey. Next up, we will honor Steve Harvey. And to do that are two gentlemen that we all know and love and really need no introduction, but I'll say their names anyway. Please welcome to the stage Rick and Amir.
Steve Harvey. What can we say about Steve Harvey that he hasn't already said to you himself? Over and over and over again. But sincerely, we're here tonight to introduce Steve Harvey as he's awarded by Apex for his hard work on the PME interview.
Now known as GE Spotlight.
The PME interview started out as a little Orange County show that we put on to bring producers into our facility, to show them our capabilities, and to get them to come work with us. But one morning I'm in the shower after the show was on, the local show was on. I'm in the shower and I think to myself, which I always get my best ideas when I'm in the shower. I think to myself, I said, you know, we need to do this for the airline market.
And the PME interview was created. Rick and I both knew that the man for the hosting job was our own Steve Harvey. Steve had already been in the industry for 30 years. Yes, it's 30 years. He knows audio, movies, and aviation.
He really knows aviation. Just ask him.
He knows the onboard systems, and he knows all the people in the industry. He was the man for the job, but the only problem was to convincing him.
As we all now know, Steve agreed to host our little show, and a star was born. About this time, 6 years ago, we started shooting the first shows. We had the introductory film in November of 2010.
Steve's first guest was Patrick Branley. Thank you, Patrick.
With more than 130 shows aired, we can call the show a success now.
Steve has interviewed just about everyone.
However, there's still the elusive Paul Margis.
Yes, there still is Paul. Steve has put in the hours and hard work to bring Apex members a very informative interview show every 2 weeks. Today, he's being honored by his peers for his efforts that go well beyond the norm.
Steve Harvey has been a competitor, a colleague, and a friend. Now, Amir and I, on behalf of Apex, are proud to present Steve Harvey with the Apex Outstanding Achievement Award for his extraordinary contribution to Apex for his work on the PME interview.
Now known as GE Spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey. Steve, get up here.
Mary Kirby and Steve Harvey, huh? That's Beauty and the Beast for you. I'm not very good at public speaking, so you'll have to excuse me if I read from a few prepared notes. First of all, this is fabulous. Thank you very much indeed. And you know, we're all extremely fortunate. Our companies pay for us to come to these exotic locations: Long Beach, Anaheim, Portland, to spend the week networking, meeting new people and learning about the latest industry trends. But for every attendee at Apex, there's probably a dozen colleagues back in the office manning the fort, I should say, who don't have the opportunity. Probably moaning as well. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Who don't have the opportunity to attend an Apex event. So the original idea behind the PME interview, which, as Rick said, was very much his idea, now relaunched as GE Spotlight, was to provide IFE and connectivity community with a better understanding of trends in the industry and the challenges that we all face. Some interviewees look back on the history of IFE, others look forward to the future of connectivity. All the while, we're building up a valuable archive of interviews available to anyone at any time who wants to learn more about what we do and how we do it. These interviews, they chronicle our industry, recording not only technological advances, but also best practices in matters like content licensing. They also record the human side, the personalities of individuals who help shape our industry, their strengths, their frailties. Along the way, we have a few laughs too. Over the years, I've had the privilege of interviewing more than 100 people from airlines and from vendors. For those of you who have taken the time out to participate, thank you. For those of you who've politely declined our invitation to take part, I would urge you to reconsider. Everyone in this room tonight is playing a part in driving our industry forward. Each one of you has a story to tell, and there's an eager audience out there waiting to hear what you have to say. You are part of our industry, you're part of our DNA, and you should be recognized as such. Now, I may be the face of GE Spotlight and have the honor and privilege of accepting this award tonight, but when you click on the link and watch the finished interview, it's the end result of a lot of hard work by a team of very talented individuals who managed to work wonders with some often very dodgy material. First and foremost, though, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the patience and support of my family. My lovely wife, G, my two children, Tom and Alicia, who put up with the countless late-night calls. No, the rumours are not true. The late-night calls between London and Los Angeles. I'd like to thank Rick and Amir for inviting me to join the Postmodern Group and proposing the project in the first place. I value their friendship and particularly their loyalty. I'd like to thank the production team of John Faulkner, Rich O'Neill, Julie Pacino and Brian Moller for all their efforts over the past 4 years. And I'd like to thank my dear friend Patrick Branley for volunteering to be the first person to be interviewed. But there are many, many more people who sat in the hot seat. And if I may, I'd like to give them all a quick mention. Just kidding. So finally, thank you to Apex. Thank you to Alfie and the rest of the board for this terrific award. I feel humbled and thrilled both at the same time. So thank you. Thanks.